Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to get into my weekly check-in. These are my weekly check-in budget sheets. I sell these in Etsy if you're interested. I have this design, and then I also sell these exact same budget sheets but in a plain version without any decorative. These are actually my most popular versions. There's my weekly check-in. So if you're interested in purchasing budget sheets from me, I do have them in my budget shop, Lisa's Faith Budget Plan on Etsy, and the link is in the description box below. But I love this month's pattern, the October pumpkins and the fall vibes it has it with the tans and grays and stuff like that. I don't know, just something about it really speaks to me. It's very beautiful and I enjoy this design. I should be showing my November budget sheets coming up soon. I have not done that when I do my November monthly budget, which will be within this week coming up. I'm doing my weekly check-in today. I'm also going to be doing my closing out my sinking funds, talking about my savings tracker and credit card log in the next video, and of course my A5 and hourly plan with me's for the week. So those will be coming up in the next few days. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in watching those videos. That way you can get notified and see when these videos are coming up. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started for the weekly check-in. Okay, my weekly check-in. So I always start with the calendar part of my weekly check-in. On the back side of this is my weekly check-in log, and this is just how I track my transactions. And I use my own expense stickers, and this month looks very sparse compared to most months. Most months I have stickers on every day. I don't have a lot of no spends, but actually I've had a lot of no spends this month. With my recent diagnosis with diabetes, I'm kind of afraid to go out to eat, and I'm kind of afraid of what I'm spending and things like that. And my husband is actually traveling on business. He is not home and he won't be back for a while. So I'm just kind of readjusting and kind of hunkering down at home and researching and figuring out how to take care of myself for the first time in my life. So that's been going on. And so I'm kind of nervous on what I do and how I spend and what I spend my money on. So as you can see, I've had several no spend days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to do another one today. I'm going to grab my personal no spend stickers that I create for myself. I don't sell stickers, but I do like cutting them for myself, and I do enjoy these. And I'm going to go ahead and lay this down for today because I'm claiming Thursday is a no spend day. We're not going out to eat. We're not going to, I don't need anything from the store. I've been twice this week. And so I'm pretty much set for the rest of the month as far as food and groceries. I will have spending this weekend. My parents will be coming into town on Friday, and they'll be staying the weekend and then probably go back Monday or Sunday, something like that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And my husband won't be back this month. So as far as I know, it depends. Travel always changes. We'll see what happens. But I really don't have a lot to put down as far as tracking, which is kind of exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of zoom you in. We're going to write down the totals for each of my categories: grocery, household in pink, restaurants in blue, miscellaneous in green, and gasoline in orange, and unbudgeted in yellow. And once we kind of sort that out, I'll flip over and we'll do the weekly check-in and just kind of see where the numbers are. And I know I'm not over budget anywhere, I don't think. And so that's kind of exciting as well. So let's go ahead and dive into that. Let me zoom you guys in. Okay, I am back. So here we go. We're going to start with the first category, which is always the top one. I do them in this order every time. That way I have everything kind of set up, and it's kind of all in the same order. So let's go ahead and move this back up. There we go. And so the first thing I'm going to do is find all my groceries, and I have three grocery transactions that I want to put on here. Now, if you remember last time we checked in, I did $189 before my husband got paid, and that pretty much covered a lot of things, but a lot of them were things that were $10, $12 items that were to replenish like big bottles of shampoo, big bottles of body wash, big bottles of whatever. And so that's why that was very high, and I still needed more groceries, which were food, meats and stuff this week. I've been stocking up on more protein than normal and less carbs. So that's kind of where the direction I'm going in my diet, and taking out a lot of the chocolate and candies, which is very difficult for me, but I am working on it. So the first thing I have here, I did go to Kroger's, let's see, grocery household, and it was $15.33. And I'm really trying to remember what I bought there at Kroger's. And oh, my son wanted some root beer, so I went ahead and got him some root beer. He loves Barks root beer, and he only drinks like 1 can every other day or so. So that's what he wanted, and I went and picked that up for him. And then I picked up those 3, I don't know if you've ever seen them, they're a squirt bottle of like Kool-Aid to flavor your waters, and he likes those, so I bought 3 of those, and the prices on those jumped up an entire $1. So a total for a case of root beer and 3 of those little bottles was $15. But it was worth it. He has to take something at night that's a powder that he has to mix, so he uses the Kool-Aid flavored water to kind of mask the a little bit of graininess that is in his mix that he takes every night, medication. And that helps that. And so we got that for him, and he's going to use it. So I don't mind spending a little extra on something that's definitely going to be used and definitely going to help him take medicine and things like that. So the next one was Walmart at $98.20. That was a grocery run. More meats and produce, and then stocked up on a few things. And my husband will be back pretty soon, so the one thing I'd love to stock up while he's gone are things like chili mix with dark red kidney beans and tomato sauces, things I have to buy. And then there's a mix kit that has all the seasoning and stuff like that. He loves that, and he can eat it every day, which sometimes he does for lunch. And so I wanted to make sure I had that when he got back. It's getting into the cooler months and cooler weather, so warm food like that is really good. The other thing I needed to get was, there were things I couldn't get at Walmart that I needed to get, and so I went to Food Lion to pick it up. And Food Lion is starting their sales again, so if you have your Food Lion card of during the Thanksgiving time starting this past week, if you spend $50 or more, I think, or $60 or more, and you get 6 in a row between now and going to Thanksgiving, you can get a $20 off of your grocery purchase, your whole grocery purchase, once you hit that 6th, I think it's the 5th or 6th time you spend $50 or more. So if you go to Food Lion often, that is a really, really good deal. And every holiday season, I do try to make sure I go for that deal. So that's really good. So that's the grocery household, just 3 transactions. I'm going to pull this over here, and we're going to tally this up real quick and see how much we spent. So I have $15.33 plus $98.20 plus $66.17. And I don't know if you've noticed, and I noticed a lot of YouTubers talking about, but the prices of groceries just really went skyrocketing recently. So I think now is a good time to reevaluate your budget and figure out how much more of an increase you need to make in order to sustain what you typically buy, or find cheaper alternatives to what you buy, a generic name brand or whatever that you still like the taste of. There are certain things I won't buy generic. I buy the name brand, not because the generic is not good. It's really good. It's just, it doesn't taste the same, or it has an off taste to it to my family, and they just won't eat it. And it's not worth buying if they're not going to eat it. So definitely go through and take a look at your budget, see where you can cut back if you need to, in order to maintain your budget going forward, because the holiday seasons and family and stuff, you're going to have to budget for groceries in a different way than you have before. Inflation is probably here to stay. I've never noticed any time in history where inflation went back down. So these are going to be the new prices, and this is just what's going to be. So $179.70. There we go. is what I spent in groceries and stocking up and things like that. So the next thing I have is restaurants, and I only have one restaurant, which is Papa John's Pizza Night. I did get a small pizza for myself, and then I had 1 or 2 slices for lunch through the week, and they were small. They were like that big. Oops, you can't even see all that. Yeah, they weren't a large slice. There was a small slice pizza, and then my sons had what they wanted, and so restaurants, we had $30.56. So that was that. And then miscellaneous is this right here. I bought some stickers, and I only have one miscellaneous. This is amazing. Though I put in my cart and took out of my cart a million times all the Star Wars collection until I felt like, okay, I'm under control now because I was wanting to buy it all. And I keep trying to decide if I want the petite planners or not. For the next year, I didn't really use them as well as I wanted to this year. Didn't have to, but yeah, I'm debating on that because I want to kind of use them as a daily journaling and tracking of, breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks and things like that, and kind of have a food log. But I just can't bring myself to commit to it yet. So we will wait and see. So miscellaneous is $21.52. So there's that. And like I said, I've already got everything on this side. So there's no spending on Sunday or Monday, just the Walmart here and Food Line here. So everything else is on this page as far as what I spent. So I don't have to move back and forth too much. And then the next thing I have is gasoline. This is the shortest list of a weekly check-in I have ever done. I'm really proud of myself. So $66.70. Gas prices went up tremendously. I think it was $3.19. And the previous time I got gas before this for my Nissan Armada, which is a very big vehicle with, I think it's a 29-gallon tank. And I usually fill it up when I'm at 20 gallons. When I've used 20 gallons and still have 9 gallons left, yeah, that's it. It went from high 40s, low 50s to 60s, mid 60s. So that is a lot. So, and then the only other thing I have here is this unbudgeted. And I only put unbudgeted things I didn't plan to spend, but I did spend. And this is actually a giving. This is not really a spending, but it did come out of the budget. It's just something we do once a year, but it's not something that's tax deductible. My husband has a cousin who has a home business, and she sells lactation cookies to mamas who are nursing and want to feed their babies and want to make sure they have a healthy supply of milk and for their children. And she sells these cookies, and she sells out all the time. And so last year we did this, and this year we're doing it as well. We sent her $200 and say, do a giveaway. You make the rules, you make the plan, you do whatever you want with the giveaway, and to reach more mamas and share with those that maybe want to try it but aren't ready to commit to buying. And so we just sent her the money, and she's going to do one, I think Thanksgiving, and one at Christmas for the holiday season, and do these giveaways. So I'm super excited about that because we just love helping people, and she has an amazing business in helping mamas. And so we want to support that. So that was what that was. So $100 for November and $100 for December. So that was our giving unbudgeted kind of thing. So, but anyway, let me go ahead and flip this over. I gotta move this out of the way. There we go. So this is the weekly check-in. This was week one, the 1st through the 7th. Week 2 was the 8th through the 14th, and week 3 is the 15th through the 21st. Today is the 21st. So we are going to put down how much we spent, what our balances are, and then how much we have left available for week 4. Now, week 1 and week 2 are part of paycheck 1. Week 3 and week 4 are part of paycheck 2. Now we do have a paycheck 3 coming up, and that'll be week 5, and that I have that sheet put off to the side. This will go all the way to the 28th, which is a Thursday. And the last 3 days of the month we'll just spend and carry the numbers over. I do that sometimes so I can do a Friday to Thursday check-in, and the reason I do it that way is because it falls within the paydays my husband has for his salary check every other Friday. So that's how it works best for us. You can start Monday to Sunday, or Sunday to Saturday, whatever works for you, or you can follow your paychecks. So no big deal there. So let me go ahead and get my list here, and we are going to look at what we spent. So on grocery household, $179.70, and then restaurants. I mean, I've got so much money in restaurants, it's ridiculous. $30.56, which I'm not upset about at all. I'm really proud that we really didn't just go, I don't feel like cooking, and which would have been easy to do, and just grab something to eat. But apparently my body can't take that anymore. So $21.52, and I didn't comfort shop either. I mean, that's where my money, where if I want to spend money on myself, this is where I get it from, is miscellaneous, and for the family. But some of my miscellaneous is a lot for me, like Etsy, like this is stickers for November. So that was from Sarah Marie Stickers, and I love that. I love her shop and all the things, and so I wanted to make sure I had stickers for November because I don't feel like cutting my own this month coming up. And so that's where I would spend the money from. But I also make sure I prioritize any clothes or shoes and stuff, which I will be shopping for that this weekend. Clothes and shoes and stuff, for clothes for my son, shoes for me. My youngest son needs long sleeve shirts for the winter, and I have not ordered them like I normally do. So there's that. You'll see that in next week check-in. Gasoline was $66.70. All right. And then unbudgeted was $200, but I know it's not frivolous. It was a giving for a giveaway. And if you're in the Lexington, Versailles, Georgetown area of Kentucky, her name is The Leaky Mama is the name of the business, and I think every weekend she's at the farmers market, but I don't know if they have the farmers market in the winter. But she's there downtown all the time, and she's on Instagram, she's on Facebook. So look up The Leaky Mama, and check her stuff out if you're in those areas in Kentucky and are looking for somebody like that. So let's go ahead and do this. So total these up. Wow, I spent less than $300 and I had over $1,000 available. So my bank account is quite healthy and has a nice buffer in it. So I'm going to put $298.48. These numbers would reflect differently if my husband was home. Probably $100 or $200 more would have been spent. But I think when he gets back, a lot of the numbers are going to change again anyway. We will spend more, but not like we were before. And he is very aware of my new diagnosis, even though he was gone when I told him. I did email him and have a quick email conversation about what was going on. And so he and I will be working on that together when he gets back. So there's that. Let's go ahead and total up the balances of these, what I have left in these categories, and going forward till the end of the month. So $295.75 minus the $179.70. So that is going to give me $116.05. And then for grocery household, which should be plenty going into next week. Because anything I use, I'm thinking, even though it may be like grocery items, this weekend with my parents being here, that's the thing I'm thinking about right now. We'll definitely order pizza on Friday, like we always do. then we'll have, what else? We might have some other things that I would get at the grocery store, and I think I'm going to get that out of restaurants because I'm going to have more money out of there. So you may see a Food Lion or Walmart or some kind of grocery thing where I put it under restaurants because I want to use that money for that reason, because my parents are here. So it's just a surplus of money I can use for that, because you can use whatever you want out of whatever category you have. The reason I break it up this way is to kind of keep myself reined in each category. So since I have a lot of restaurants available, then I'm going to use that for guests and whether we go out to a restaurant or not. So that's going to be good. Minus $30.56. So I took the $422.41 minus the $30.56, and that gives me $391.85, which is way more than what I would need. And this is where I will be probably I'll use this money this weekend to cover the cost of food while my parents are in town, whether it's us going out to eat or whether it's me going to the grocery store. I'm going to use that category for that, and that's okay because it's my categories. I can do whatever I want with them. $229.64 minus $21.52, and that gives us $208.12. So $8.12. There we go. Gasoline $125.82 minus the $66.70, and that gives me $59.21 or 12. There we go. For gas, I don't really count that. So let's see what these total up to, what I spent or what the balance is available going into the next week. So $116.05 plus $391.85 plus $208.12 plus $59.12, and that gives $775.14. We're looking really good. That should be more than enough going into week 4 and covering all that. So what I do, even though paycheck or week 3 and week 4 is part of paycheck 2, because it's part of paycheck 2, I split how much I budget per week in order to keep myself from spending all the money at the beginning of the paycheck period and not have enough at the end. So I just kind of divide it between the 2 weeks. I need to pull up my weekly check-in. This is the other side of my weekly check-in. And I do have a week 5 here, the 29th through the 31st. This is going to be the Halloween week. It's only 3 days, and my husband does get paid again on the 29th. And I'll just carry these, whatever the balance here is, over here and just finish out the month with that budget. And I should have plenty. I mean, if I have $700 for next week and I only spent $300 this week, I may spend $400 this upcoming week with that stuff, activities and stuff with my family, but I should still have money for 3 days in the last 3 days of October. So that should work good. But each week, here's my week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4 breakdown. As you can see, I didn't budget anything for week 5. So these are the numbers I'm working with. So if I have money left over in a category, like I have $116.05 left over, I take what I budget for week 4, which was $200, and add that to this number, and that gives me $316.05. Now I have $391.85 here for restaurants, which is way more than what I really need. And then I do have a budgeted amount for this week, $162. There we go. This gives me week 4, starting on Friday the 22nd, $553.85, which is why I'm kind of using this as the budget for, food and maybe even activities for while my parents are in town. So, because it's high enough that I can do that and won't interfere with the rest of it, and I won't need to use the money from somewhere else. Let's see. Miscellaneous, I have $208.12, and I'm going to add $137. And this is just a number I budget for myself. Now, where I get my numbers, I'll show you that in just a second. 12. Let me get the gasoline one here. So $59.12 plus what I have here, which is $62. And that gives me $121.12. And I'm going to put 0 here because I don't budget for unbudgeted. It's just a placeholder for me to put what I have unbudgeted to remind me not to be so frivolous with money. If I can see that I've spent a lot frivolously in the unbudgeted category, then this is a way of making it a negative experience and for me to rethink that strategy. So, all right, so I'm going to go from bottom up since that number's already there. So 121.12 plus the 345.12 plus 553.85 plus 316.05. So that's $1,300, which is way more than what I had the previous week. So $1,336.14. That is what my week 4 starts with, and that is going to be plenty of money for week 4. And it'll be plenty of money for the last 3 days in, if I can grab my paper here, it's stuck on something. There we go. And that's plenty of money for week 5. So I'm not too worried about that. But how I get my totals is using my monthly totals that I typically spend in a month and what I have typically spent for the past couple years. $1,000 for grocery household. That might be changing coming up unless I move restaurants and take a couple hundred from restaurants and move it to grocery household because we are changing our diet. Miscellaneous is $550. Gas has been $2.50. That's going to go up, but I usually divide it by the number of weeks, and then I round up the cents this past month instead of having changed. A lot of times you would see 50 cents or I divide it by 4 or divide it by 5 or whatever. But this month I decided I'm just going to round it up to the nearest whole dollar and then balance it out. So that's how I divided it. I take these totals and I divide them up by the number of weeks, and then I decide the 5th week, does it need a budget, or will I have enough to carry over from the previous week to cover the budget? And I felt the 3 days was enough. I could carry that over. Sometimes I budget money for the 5th week just because it's like more than 3 days. If it goes 4, 5, 6 days in the 5th week of the month, then it's a little bit longer of a month, then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make those changes. But it just depends on your strategy, and that's why we pre-plan every month on what the new month is going to look like. And when I do my monthly budget, I'll show a little bit of that as well. And that'll be another video coming up. So I have a lot of videos at the end of the month because it's wrapping up one month and beginning another and getting everything set up. So there's that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and zoom out and close out this video, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So I had 3 no spends this week. I normally don't talk about no spends, but this week I'm kind of excited because we've had so many in this month. 3 here, 1 here, and then 3 here. So that's 7 no spends for the month, and I'm super excited about that. You can always track that over here, and that might be something I want to do for myself, is just do a little box over here and track no spends. And hopefully that'll encourage me more, and I can just put the number in the box. That would be kind of cool. So yeah, I just thought of that. That's really fun. So anyways, coming up with new ways, not just to save money, but also to be healthy and do things well for myself. And then here's the weekly check-in. $1,336.14 is what I have for week 4 and going into week 5. Should be plenty of money. My husband won't be in town for these weeks either. So going into November, you know, that'll be different. So come back and check that out, because it's going to be all over the map in November. I can guarantee you that. We're going to be over in some categories, figuring out groceries and how to budget for groceries because it's getting more expensive, and gas, and it's getting more expensive. And then reducing miscellaneous and reducing restaurants and figuring out how best to work those categories. It may be something where miscellaneous might be something I just put into a sinking fund instead of just spending for the month. This is where we get to spend for freely on things that we want or need. And so it's not really assigned to anything as far as what it has to be spent on, like it is with grocery, household, restaurants, and gasoline. There's specific things that go under that category. Miscellaneous is just that. It's random stuff that doesn't fit under a category. So I truly enjoy that. And so we're going to be looking into that. But that's what I have for my weekly check-in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. That way you can see weekly check-ins, paycheck to paychecks, monthly budget, and my hourly life planner and my plan with me and my A5's ring agenda plan with me. So there's a lot of things that I do, and it's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I am so grateful for all of you, and I hope you have an amazing and blessed day, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.